Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We were driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Crestwood area Comets football. And joining us is the head coach, Greg Myers. Well, Greg, high expectations for yourselves this year. And, of course, a quality team coming back. A lot of experienced guys have worked hard in the offseason. Tell us about how you guys felt after your first scrimmage this past weekend.
Well, just like most years after the first scrimmage, we made some mistakes. But the good thing about the mistakes that we did make, everything was correctable, fundamental mistakes that we'll get right back to working on tomorrow morning. I thought our energy level could have been a little bit better. We did hold out 6 starters that were a little banged up, nothing major, just some minor bumps and bruises. But overall, I think we're moving in the right direction.
Well, knowing you have some great skill kids back, tell us about what you have up front. Are you guys big and physical, or you guys, kind of a little more lean up front?
Well, early on here, we are showing some signs of being a physical front. We do have to replace 2 all-conference linemen that we lost due to graduation last season. So that's certainly a concern of mine. I think we've found a replacement with a young lineman. We're still looking on developing another younger kid to replace the other graduating senior. But there's work to do. There's always work to do, especially up front. There's a lot for those guys to learn. They've got to learn a very complicated offense. So we're sort of a work in progress right now, but I could really see us develop into a pretty big physical line.
How about Jay Pops and the development of him at quarterback? Tell us the kind of kid he is. I mean, he looks like a physical specimen when you see him.
Oh, he is. And Jay put in a phenomenal offseason. He's a very focused, motivated player for us, leader for us on and off the field, and just a kid who knows what he wants and wants to go play college football someday, and a big physical player. He's up to 210, 6'2", 210, and runs well. I thought he did a phenomenal job Saturday morning running the football, and that's just a great weapon to have when you can have a quarterback pull the ball down and run like the way he does.
How about on the defensive end, Coach? Tell us about your scheme and, of course, the type of athlete you have to kind of complement that scheme there at Crestwood.
Well, we run a very base scheme on defense. We try to take a lot of the thinking out of playing defensive football and focus more on the reaction and allowing our kids to react faster and quicker rather than trying to think before they have to react. So, we're very basic and have to replace 3 out of 4 linebackers, and that's certainly a very big concern of mine. I think we found 1 out of the 3 on Saturday, so we're still looking for 2 out of the 4 linebackers, and certainly need a lot of growing up in a short amount of time there at that position. But I do think that our defensive secondary right now is the strength of our defense. We have 2 3-year starters returning at cornerback, and a free safety who I think is one of the best all-around athletes in District 2 right now in Lance Bloss. Up front, we do return 2 defensive ends and both all-conference kids, and lose both defensive tackles. So that's another concern, and we've got to develop some kids there. Right now, it looks like we're going to be rotating about 6 to 7 defensive tackles in there throughout the course of a ball game at that position.
Well, special teams is something you took seriously when you played the game. Of course, a coach at the college level took it very seriously as well. And you got a good guy coming back with some experience who's a senior.
We do, and then that's such a great weapon to have when you have a kicker that can line up and put the ball in the end zone 23 times as a junior, knowing that the other team is going to be starting on the 20-yard line, and the percentage game just falls into your favor immediately. And we feel like we play good enough defense and to force teams to drive the football 80 yards consistently. This doesn't happen at the high school level. And the same thing goes for the punting game. George has really worked on his punting game here this offseason and has really drawn a lot of attention from a lot of the Patriot League and FBS schools here recently. So we're excited to see how well his punt game does. He did a nice job Saturday morning, and that's just another great weapon to have when you could flip the field on a team and have a 60-yard punt and force them to drive long distances. The percentages are in your favor.
Well, I'm sure you feel pretty balanced offensively with a quarterback that can throw. You got Frankie Eideldinger who could run the football, talented athletic receivers, a big tight end. You pretty much have the whole package. It's just a matter of fine-tuning it and making sure your offense is in full effect, I guess.
It is, and I think the pieces are in place, and everybody's talking, but there's a lot of work to do on our end. We still have to replace those two all-conference offensive linemen, and that's going to be a tough task to do. And same thing on defense. I mentioned the kids who we have to replace on defense, and we've got a lot of work to do. We're a week into camp, and we evaluated some things over the weekend based on our scrimmage, and we're certainly not at the point where we're ready to play a high-caliber schedule like we have, especially with Berwick and Abington Heights week 1 and week 2. So we've got a lot of work to do. And another concern of mine is keeping our kids focused. We're in a position now that we've really never been in at Crestwood High School. And, we are now going to be the favorites. And there's no more sneaking up on teams and playing the underdog role like we've been able to do the last 3 or 4 years. So, the whole focus, mental focus here daily and game to game is certainly something we need to pay a lot of attention to.
Well, Coach, I know on paper you probably say most of the games you're going to be the favorite. The first game, you'd be the first to say that, hey, Berwick has to be considered the favorite because they're the district champs, even though they're coming to your place. However, the first game could go so many different ways, and how you respond in week 2, so whether you win or you lose, it's a close game, it's a blowout one way or the other. That response in week 2 and that focus is going to be important, and then, of course, week 3 and so on and so forth.
Oh, there's no doubt. You're exactly right. And, that could go either way, honestly. And, we're just hoping we get off to a good start. But Berwick will be the favorite, and they deserve to be the favorite. And, I evaluated them a lot today based on their scrimmage on Saturday, and they're a very good football team. They're very big up front. I know there's some question marks at quarterback, but, the kid who started for them on Saturday, I thought did a pretty good job for his first time out competing. So we're gonna have our hands full. We know that, but hopefully we can get off to a good start. And first quarter, first half of that ball game, goes in our favor, and we can build some confidence early.
Greg Myers, Crestwood Comets football here on the John Mendola Show as they approach the regular season and get ready for Berwick at home that first week. Coach, I hope you guys stay healthy through the remainder of the preseason here, and look forward to seeing you on TV on week 1.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me.
Greg Myers, Crestwood Comets here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.